Hi, hello, good afternoon. How are you doing? Kenny again. For those that are coming back to my channel, welcome back. And for those that are new, I want to say welcome to my channel. Today, I want to quickly just say something about doing business in Nigeria. A lot of mistakes people make that makes their business fail in Nigeria. First of all, did you notice that when we're growing up, you would see maybe one person selling stuff down the road and the person is selling so well, and another person that didn't know what to do because somebody is selling well down the road and they just want to start selling something too, and they start selling the same exact thing the person down the street is selling, and they become a competitor. And that means that all the customers that were going to the first person, they now get divided into two, and they have to go to two different places. And then all of a sudden you see that those two people are selling, and another person just erupts from nowhere and they start selling exactly the same thing, making seller number 3, and then there goes seller number 4, seller number 5. And after a while you see that they start folding up one after the other. That is because the buyers are not increasing, but the sellers are increasing. Supply is now more than demand. And then people have to start dropping their prices so that you can come to them instead of going to another person. So what does that mean? Competition. Competition is one of the reasons businesses fold up in Nigeria. We Nigerians, we like competition. If you see that somebody is doing well in this line of business, the next thing you see is their friends start doing the same thing on the same street in the same neighborhood. That is going to cause competition. That is going to cause high supply more than demand. If you know how many human hair vendor we have now, you wonder how they are still selling. So I just want to bring that up, that competition might be very, very dangerous. There's power in monopoly. There is money in monopoly. Now I realize that a lot of people want to go into farming because that's the in thing, because people are making money from it, because the demand is high. A time is going to come that farming is going to be like back in the days that there was no money in farming, because supply is going to be more than demand. You might want to think twice before you start putting your money in farming. Yes, there's money in farming as we speak, but right now a lot of people are going into farming, and you might want to think about it before you go and join that train. So another thing I want to talk about is, I've said this in one of my videos, there is money in solving problems. Nigeria has a lot of problems. Just pick one of them that you can solve. Go and do your survey. The area you want to settle in, what is lacking? What can you do? What can you provide? What solution can you bring to the problems they have on ground? That is a way to do a business, and you are less likely going to fold up. Another reason businesses fold up in Nigeria is people don't run their numbers. Once they see that there is a demand for a particular product, they just go ahead and start selling that product. Have you asked yourself, what is the profit margin for this product I'm about to start selling? I think a lot of products in Nigeria, the profit margin is extremely small. I don't know how retailers are surviving in Nigeria. So personally, as a young person, I will advise young people to leave retail for those old women that don't need money. You see those old people that sell stuff in front of their house, those old people that have cement store, they're in their late 50s, 60 something, they don't have responsibilities. Their kids are probably graduated, or their children are grown up and they're graduates. They're already on their own. They're not dependent on their parents. They already own their own homes. All they want to do is just feed themselves. All they want to do is just get out of the house and be in a shop where people are always going up and down the street greeting them. They have people to talk to. Leave retail for those category of people. For people that are still in their youthful age, that still need money, that are burdened with responsibilities, retail is not for you. Instead of using 5 million naira to start a cement retail, or to start a Coca-Cola retail, or to start one retail business that you will just be full of activities and the profit margin is so little that when you cook a pot of soup, your profit for the whole 5 million is gone. Instead of doing that, it's better you use your 5 million to start a mini production. What do I mean by a mini production? You can be a donut producer, you can be a chips, you can be plantain chips, you can be producing plantain chips, you can be producing chin chin. These are businesses that require little capital, but your profit will be way more than that classy I'm a Coca-Cola person, I'm a cement seller, I'm a fish feed seller, and you're a retailer. The profit is always around 200, 300. I've done my research. It makes no sense. Profit for those retail, they make no sense. So you need to ask questions before you go into a business. Run your numbers very well. Make sure that the profit margin is making sense. Make sure that you are not doing business and you are afraid of eating food, good food from a business you are doing, that everything you buy for your personal well-being is a threat to your business, then that is no business. Don't even go into it at all, because it's a time bomb. It's going to fold up. It is going to fold up. It's better you spend a little capital to be a manufacturer, a producer. Being a producer doesn't mean you have to go and have 100 billion and start producing some things on a large scale. There are a lot of things you can produce. There are a lot of things you can rebrand that requires little capital. There are a lot of services. There are skills you can learn for you to start rendering services. Services does not really need so much capital. You only need a little time to learn it, perfect it, and start delivering. So I think I've mentioned a lot of reasons why businesses fold up. A lot of people will be thinking that business in Nigeria folds up because of unstable economy. That's not true. That is not true. A lot of time, once there's a problem with the pricing, there's an increase with price. Even Nigerian sellers, they're already increasing their price when the problem has not yet gotten to their own doorstep. The goods they have in their store, they already increase the price once they hear the rumor of this price is going up. So I don't believe in unstable economy makes businesses fold up. Is you choosing the wrong type of business. Is you choosing a business that has very tiny margin that you can't even buy snacks for your child. Think about the business before you start doing it. Don't do a business because you see somebody doing it. Some people are doing business just for activity's sake. That is not what they're using to survive. That is not what they're depending on. Their means of survival comes from a different source entirely, and they are not telling you the truth. You just see that they are doing the business, they're looking nice, they're looking fresh, and you go ahead and jump into it without asking questions, without running your numbers. That is very, very, very important. Any business that is not giving you a good margin, up to 50% profit, don't even go into it. Because the truth is, you see all those retail business, especially people that have different kind of products in their store, you're not going to finish selling everything. So you have to make sure whatever you're not selling, whatever you're selling is paying for whatever you're not selling. So don't be full of activities when you want to do business. At the end of the day, business is always for profit. Make sure you're going to get profit from whatever business you're trying to do. And lastly, a lot of businesses people don't put eyes in. That is where money is. I mentioned things like doing plantain chips, branding it nicely. I mentioned things like doing donuts, branding it nicely. No matter what you do, branding will sell you. Branding will make you look special. You can supply to schools, you can supply to supermarkets, Don't start doing, oh, a whole me graduate, I can't do this. And then you graduate, you go and put your neck in something that is not sustainable. So always try and think deeply, what do I stand to gain in this business before you go and enter it. It's very easy to enter, but at the same time, businesses are very, very easy to crumble. It's very easy to fold up. You just realize that this thing is not making sense. It's better I close it, and then you start blaming it on the business instead of blaming it on yourself for not doing your research the way you're supposed to do it. So I think if you know any other reason why businesses fold up in Nigeria, you can please drop it in the comment section. Let's learn from your experience. If you know anyone that needs to hear this or that is struggling and what can I do, please share this video with them. Also, everyone, I need you to like, share, and comment. And again, I'll see you on my next one. Thank you. Bye.